Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. I see your note taker's also here.
Oh, yeah, it's automatic.
Yeah. And I just don't take it personally, but I don't admit them.
No, you can kick it out.
No, I just did.
Okay, good.
All right, let's see. Okay. Sherman's note take. Hello, Carrie.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, I don't hear you, but hold on. I'm just busy admitting. Let's see, that's Ari's note taker and Sherman. So I don't allow note takers without a human being.
Excellent.
And I can't hear you, Carrie. You're not muted though.
Yeah, I can't either. Now she's muted.
Testing, testing, one, two, three.
Oh,
Testing,
you're
testing.
there, but you're very faint.
Oh,
And I know that's not like you.
testing, testing.
Yeah, well, that's better, but it still feels like you're in a tin can,
Hmm.
but better. We can,
Let me log out and log back in.
I don't think it's a log out, log in thing. It sounds like maybe, I don't know if there's a volume thing.
Glasses.
Ah, that helps. All right, let's see. Am I missing this? I'm going to admit these two note takers so that I can tell them. Now, Sherman and Ari, your note takers have been admitted in only so that I could tell you that I'm following my policy that you are aware of, which is you have to be here in person. Okay, now we'll get rid of that. Sorry about the housekeeping here. Let's see. Okay. Well, let's chat amongst ourselves here since it seems that we've got people off kilter because it's not on the first month Friday. Um,
Better?
uh-oh, it was for a second.
I'm playing with all the volume settings.
Ah, okay. All right. Um, so first of all, Riley,
Yes.
give us your intro.
Well, Briley Tomlinson, you must pardon my casual appearance. I've been sick all week.
Oh,
Should probably still be in bed, but I want to hop on here and hear what's going on with all y'all. So
yeah.
make some new connections. Obviously, Brian Montaglione and I go back about a decade or something like that. I don't even remember exactly, but I've been around the
Uh,
business. I've been a supplier for 16 years. Been in the business for about 20. I was with RNDC for about 4 years down in Florida, back when it was NDC still. And before that, I ran restaurants for I don't know. Since I was 13, I was in the restaurant business.
Wow.
So, and I've been working on and off with the wine since I was 19, and I turned 49 about a month and a half ago. So
you're a
a lot of
baby.
years. This is it, man. This is the lifestyle. This is what I love. What we do, and every bit of it. I've been out of work since May of last year. I was with Langtree Farms, and Easton decided to do a reorg. I was covering the eastern half of the country, and Easton decided to do a reorg. So I've been kind of plodding along since, trying to get something going. But as we all know, it's been a difficult last half of 2025, or well, the vast majority of the year anyway. So, but I was with Mendocino Wine Company before that. I
Hmm.
covered from, gosh, Texas to basically Delaware, kind of up on the top edge of Tennessee all the way over. And then they sold the top three brands. Chase Thornhill did, so he cut the whole sales team. Said,
Oh
"You guys have a
no.
Uh,
week." So that was a bummer. Before that, I was with Vintage Wine Estates for about 10 years. I
so
was,
wine sales. Oh, here's Tanya. Hang on, we're getting another edition here. Um, so the wine space is a little tricky these days.
it
Mhm.
is, it is. I've done both because at Vintage Wine Estates, we did have some spirits.
Welcome, Tanya.
Mendocino Wine and Langtree were both smaller companies. They were just straight wine. And then before I was at Vintage, and then obviously when I was at RNEC, but I sold a tremendous amount of spirits. When I was the VP of the sales and business development for the state of Florida for a small broker here. I say small, but we packed some volume because we had McCormick and
Yeah.
Michter's and so on and so forth. And we had like Rutherford Ranch and San Giuseppe and some other wines too. But it was spirits ruled our business for sure.
Well, it's an interesting thing that it's almost like the wine sales decline preceded everything else this time around. And it's also been
Right.
interesting to see, the discussion on trying to analyze why, and a lot of it having to do with less, I guess, on people not drinking, but more about people moving on to other things, and also that the younger audience hasn't been motivated by the narratives, the old world wine, or
Yeah.
the old, everything's about the terroir, um, you know, but it's,
That's
yeah,
Go ahead, Mike. I was going to say that's actually Brian and I, we talked on Monday. You know,
uh-huh,
we talk every now and again or whatever. And we were just catching up and we actually were having that exact conversation. He's like, you know what? I'm on this group call because you need to be on it.
yeah.
You want to join
Well,
us? Like,
usually it's more of
obviously,
a group than
absolutely.
this. So hopefully we have we usually have about 15, 12, 15 people. So, but it's usually on the first Friday. But Tanya's here. So we're going to talk to her in a minute because I haven't talked to her in a long time, find out what's going on. But, I think that as someone who I did go through the phase of, being a wine snob, going to Napa and Sonoma and feeling like I knew everything about, the specific brand because I'd been there.
Hmm.
And how, when you do that, you do kind of get intoxicated by the stories. But if you don't go there, you would have no reason to ever taste that wine. And so that's the big lesson that I think the spirits world has learned from is that you've got to create an experience um, for that brand story, for someone to physically come in contact, not just with liquid to lips, but with, hey, here are the people, here's the place. And then all of a sudden it becomes you become a brand loyalist.
You're
I
right.
still am amazed that um, I went to one winery maybe 20 years ago, and for years I was on the wine list, and without even questioning it, I'd be paying $100 to $150 a bottle. I would never do that in the liquor store or even in a restaurant. It's
Yeah.
like, why am I doing this? And then I
That's where the
go
margin.
2 years ago, my wife and I went to, we were back there and we went to, what's a Senegal. So Jim Senegal, who was he's the retired founder of Costco, uh,
Mhm.
bought this pretty amazing winery. I don't know what it originally was, and it's now Senegal, and it's gorgeous. And they built this beautiful tasting room and wine facility, and it's in St. Helena, and it's gorgeous. But the least expensive wine you can buy is their Chardonnay, and that's $90.
Yeah.
And their most of their like their Cab Franc is 225. and I'm like, wait, I'm not doing this again. So we, bought one round and then that's it. We're not, but
There was an article this morning that showed that Costco generates just a base $4 billion a year off of their membership fees. So
yeah,
it's
You bet.
interesting how he pivoted that from his wine clubs
yeah,
into just general consumer.
yeah, yeah,
It's funny you say that. I actually just read a whole article about Costco versus like Sam's Club.
Yeah.
yeah,
And Sam's Club sells merchandise, Costco sells memberships.
Mhm.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's and it's in that, just like you were saying, Michael, honestly, at Vintage Wine Estates, we had this massive contingency of DTC customers and these wine clubs with all the different wineries. And when they bought Cameron Hughes and all that, it just got even bigger. And
mm,
that's where the real margins lie, with some of that stuff. You can give up a
yeah,
lot over here because we were making so much over here. And, I mean, obviously there's some other things that led to their downfall. That was after I left. Maybe that was it. I don't know. But
that's what you'd
it's
like
it's
to know.
funny. There's
I
there's
wish
so many
we could have
people.
bourbon clubs like we have wine clubs because I think that DTC, I know it's all back to legality and
Of
taxation
Yeah,
and
course.
the system, but if there was any way to slice through some of that here in 2026, it would open up just a whole new
yes,
plethora of opportunity for this industry, both industries probably.
Yeah, say that for
yeah.
the people in the back of the room. I totally agree.
Yep.
Oh, is
Somebody
that
else.
Tanya? Who's that?
That was
Michael
Tanya.
Clancy's here. We don't
That was
see,
Tanya.
but we don't see.
Yes, I have my camera off, dear. I
Oh,
have my
there you
camera
are.
off.
Hi.
But yes, I don't know what your name is. I think C Trap at the bottom there, but
Carrie. That's Carrie.
absolutely.
Carrie
I
Trapp
totally
from
agree.
Kentucky. Yep.
So being in the bourbon club space, that's kind of what we're begging for. So if someone can figure out that loophole,
Yeah.
bourbon clubs will be all over it. I mean, individual distilleries have already started their own sort of private clubs, charging $1,000 membership to have just an opportunity to buy their products. But I think clubs in general, bourbon clubs, that is, would love to have that opportunity kind of across the board.
Well,
I wholeheartedly agree.
I agree too, and I think when you say that, I think about like the retail shippers, like the what I forget the one in Michigan that we used to use for Joe Louis.
Woods?
Yeah, and they had a ton of brands, and there's no reason that they shouldn't be curating bourbon clubs to showcase the brands that they already are bringing in, and that's a no-brainer. Um, I actually there's a vodka brand that the guy has been for 2 years, 3 years. He's been trying to get me to, care about it, and I don't, and he doesn't have any money or a plan. But it's only in one state, and it's in Minnesota, and there's a store there that does ship it. So I did buy a couple bottles just because after all this, I'm going to at least look at it. I haven't actually opened the bottles to taste it because I don't really care. But the point really was like, you could if you got coordinated with these retail shippers, you really could do it because they've got the way to reach 38 states or 42, whatever it is.
I hate to give one more easy example, but there was a European brand, a London brand that was doing a launch last fall, and I went to their website. I clicked buy pre-order. It transferred me over to my Amazon cart in England to buy it now and have it delivered Amazon. And I'm like, what? This is ridiculous. We can't get product to people
Yeah,
as easy as three
yeah,
clicks. I think we
yeah.
all need to go invade Discus at this
Well,
next
that's a big
conference.
deal.
Yeah.
Amazon in Europe, right? Michael Clancy from Europe, he's from Ireland. That's in Europe.
Yeah,
Is Amazon?
yeah, it does. There does seem to be quite a bit sold on it. We're not selling on it, but there does seem to be quite a bit sold on it now. The challenge is you've no control of pricing once it goes on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, your product can go on, and then suddenly it's it's discounted.
All of a sudden, everyone's like, it's much cheaper on Amazon. Why am I buying it from?
Or why are you buying it? Why are people buying it from bricks and mortar retailers, et
Right.
cetera, et cetera? So that's the difficulty.
Yeah, and just still right now the laws don't allow it. They allow for it in the wine industry, not in the bourbon space. You have to go back in and revamp the laws, which is where you get like the discus groups and the KDA groups and
Right.
things like that to just get the first one done, get it done in one state, and hopefully others will follow.
Well, in essence, that's supposedly what Discus is doing with their big DTC initiatives, trying to get the
Yeah.
laws changed universally rather than just one state at a time,
Right.
which is what's happening. Tanya, tell us, why don't you do a little update on what you're up to? Because I haven't spoken to you probably in 2 years.
Yeah, it's
Here's
good to see you
Vanessa.
again. So,
Yeah.
just still kind of within the bourbon social group spaces. So, of course, you know that Black Bourbon Society dissolved.
Yeah.
I spent a year and a half or so working as an ambassador here locally in Atlanta with Bourbon Women.
Vanessa's there.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hi.
Yeah, and
And
that's kind of a shame.
Who's
Because
that?
hi, what's that?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
I was just saying Tanya's talking about the demise of the Black Bourbon Society, which Samara seems to be pretty happy about.
Oh,
well, I think she's in a different headspace and she's focusing on something different right now.
Yeah.
And so if that's what makes her happy, then that's more power to her. I
Right.
think individuals within their own individual cities, we still all get together and still fellowship. So I think if there was an individual who wanted to sort of take on 35,000 members, that special individual would step up and do that.
And that's not you?
No, that would not
I
be
think it could be you.
That would not be me. But what I am currently doing is I am the Georgia State Leader for Whiskey University. And so that organization is out of Columbia, Tennessee. And so we spent a lot of time doing online training and courses about bourbon, for those of us who like to kind of geek out about bourbon and bourbon brands. And so we've got 138 courses right now.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Covering, of course, all of the legacy brands, excuse me, and a lot of the upcoming craft distillery brands.
Do you need a bourbon?
Need a toddy?
I know, right? I just kind of got like choked up on my, own words there. I think it was about the whole BBS comment thing. But yeah, so been doing that for the last couple of years now. And so that's been a lot of fun and a lot of work. And so in the space with Whiskey University and recruiting instructors, if you will, and enthusiasts, right now we have about, I think, like 1,800 instructors.
Wow.
Again, 138 courses. And this was a group that started up at the same time Joe Louis Bourbon did, right before the pandemic. And so they've seen crazy growth that we're all trying to scramble and kind of keep up with. We have a mini convention next weekend in Orlando, and we will meet for our annual convention up in Nashville. And so all of the distilleries treat us well and, show us their brands. And we do a lot of barrel selections with those distilleries.
Oh, great. Are you meeting with any of the Black distillers? This is Vanessa Braxton.
Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Yes, good. I'll be in Georgia tomorrow.
Oh yeah?
Okay.
I'm gonna surprise you, Mike. Surprise, surprise.
I'm here.
Surprise.
Yeah. Come on over.
Yeah, I'll be there for about a good week. A week and a half. I'm staying with my cousins, the Braxtons. I'm staying in Chateau Elan. So I'll be there for a week. I'm doing some development for Tony and doing something for Trina. And the Isleys, they just moved to Atlanta. So I'll be for them as well.
You got
with
the
my
whole
client.
crew there.
Yeah.
Chateau Elan is not a bad place to stay for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where my cousin lives. So every time I come, I stay at her guest house.
Nice.
So, which is good.
Nice. But to answer your question, we have not yet. In terms of how Whiskey University started, it was a small group of guys that just wanted to hang out and talk about bourbon on their own. And so they discovered within the small group that some of them could talk off the cuff better about bourbon than others. For those friends that couldn't, they developed slides and presentations so that they could chat with other groups of friends that they had about a particular brand or just bourbon in and of itself. And then, of course, the pandemic did what it did, and it kind of blew up, like I said before, kind of exponentially. So, in terms of the distilleries, they're kind of based upon who the members of the group know. And so we haven't quite ventured into that space yet. And so I'm a new state leader for Whiskey University. And so that's going to be sort of one of my things too, is to kind of expose them to other brands that are out there.
Okay.
For
Because
the Georgia market, I'm currently supporting Hard Truth Distilling out of Nashville, Indiana. And so that has been a lot of fun supporting Brian Smith in the market here. And so I think he's doing some bang up work there. If you haven't had a chance, get up there to see his distillery in Nashville, Indiana. It's sort of like a little Disney World up there. They've got a tiki boat ride, of course, which is not going to be so fabulous today at this time of year with them up and with the snow and everything that's up there. They have ATV rides. They have a tiny little still. If you want to spend the afternoon moonshining yourself, you can do that out there with them.
no, I have a 500-gallon still, huh? I'm a full-fledged facility.
Okay. But he is too, but this is for
Right.
guests that come.
I'm not trying to do that, but that's great.
He has
That's
a
great.
300 seat restaurant out there as well. And he's got about, I think, 17,000 barrels aging. And Brian is such that he likes to spend a lot of individual time with his barrels. And he's got a nice little spreadsheet that can tell you about each of his barrels that are in stock. So he was here in Atlanta about 2.5 weeks ago. And so I'm just kind of stomping the pavement out here for Hard Truth at the current moment.
And he's in Indiana?
He's in Nashville, Indiana. Yes.
Okay. Because I own in Maryville, Sherrville, and Gary, Indiana. I'm going to check him out.
Yes.
But I definitely, like, if we ever had the chance, I'm very much in this game for almost next month. It'll be 14 years.
Oh, nice.
That I've been distilling. I'm the first, between me, Jackie, and Chris. And we all came out in 2012. Ron Gomes with Painted Staves, he has phenomenal bourbon. I'm coming out with a bourbon in bond next year to year, or actually dear. But for me, I've helped pass, the four of us has helped a lot of laws in this industry so Black brands can exist. I helped pass a lot of the laws in New York State and also in with the feds. We got the federal excise tax reduced. And for us, it's very important for everybody to be included in this industry and for also our community to be aware of the Black distillers or the women distillers that exist in the short form of this industry. Despite of what's all going on, with bourbon or vodka or anything else, because all of us has put the effort through to get it this far in terms of the laws, and we need that support. And that's my issue too with Black Bourbon Society. I didn't see them, people asking for Black-owned brands and barrels. And you got to realize that sometimes, even just being a small brand, it's great. But we need the support just as well, because big customers will just decide, to make sure that they're reaching out for your dollars. So I'll ask to come to us just as well when you're doing things, to give us the chance to say yay or nay. Because you got Painted Staves, you got myself, you talking about Indiana, you got, what's his name? And I'm in Indiana who's in there for years, phenomenal. And you have a guy in Chicago, you got a group in, a Black group that actually distills in New Hampshire. There's 13 of us now, so all we ask is for the same type of access that you're giving them to your community is you get that access to. So please keep that in mind intentionally because we need that support.
Heard.
Yeah, that's a great
And
case.
definitely you can have my information.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mike?
Yeah. No, I said I think you made a great case for the importance of reaching out, being inclusive, right? Not just the big brands.
Yeah, and we've been fighting these big, we've been fighting these big brands for forever,
Exactly.
so, but it's all good. But Happy New Year, everyone.
Yes, same to you all. So we have some veterans here, which we're going to get to, Michael Clancy and Ernesto, and but I wanted to also give Carrie Trapp a chance to update us on her situation, and she joins us from lovely Louisville, I think.
Lexington.
Oh, you're in Lexington? Okay, I thought you were in Louisville.
Actually, today I'm in Miami,
Okay.
so trying to soak up a few more days of palm trees here. But my name is
Nice.
Carrie Trapp, and I'm a born and bred Kentuckian. So I get stuck in our little Kentucky bubble of bourbon. And if you ever need anything from the center, I'm currently working with Lofted Spirits and Bardstown Bourbon Company and Green River, and really just all of the different millions of barrels, hundreds of thousands of barrels that we have here in Kentucky, still trying to find a place for them to go. So I do love.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. I do love hopping on these with you, Michael, because you get to hear other perspectives. I think sometimes we in Kentucky get inside our own little box and we can't see what else is going on. And there's still plenty of wonderful bourbon and stories and brands that exist all across America. And I love how just it's a spirit that people share in. So we also have a house here in Miami. We're here probably about once every other month for just a week. So it does get me outside here and it gets me out of the gloom while the barrels are sleeping and hibernating at home and nice and cold and chilly. I get to escape. So that's my story. But if you ever need anything in the heart of bourbon country, let me know.
So give us a little update on how things are evolving for Lofted.
Lofted is doing fantastic because Lofted just has every resource on site, from Dan and his special projects and, being able to still do any mash bill of distillation with Steve and Nick. We just broke ground on a new additional mini line because a lot of people are doing these new sample bottles so that you can get more product out at a reasonable cost. And so we have a new high-speed mini line coming up, which is not, when you're doing minis by hand, it's one thing. When you can put them through a high-speed pass, you can get a lot better pricing for it, and the industry needed it. So what I've enjoyed most about Lofted right now is that there's a resource and a team of people who want to be helpful. They want you to see and be a part of whatever. They'll meet you wherever they are across brand development, blending, bottling, new fill products, special private white group labels. I mean, they've been around, even though they were new in the contract market, 10 years ago. They have a foundation pretty much across a lot of stepping stones and a team to help new brands, existing brands, private label select come to place.
So
it's a beautiful
what
facility too.
Aside from the facility, what is the sense of the health of the small brand, today in today's market? Because that's been the challenge.
Well, I think doing what we're doing here today has been where our focus is. There's a lot more concentration on meeting a small brand where they are and pushing it through social media, just like Tanya's doing with Hard Truth. It's getting each brand out there more. As Bardstown's always done, they've always been supportive of, if there's 150 different bottles that they do, if you want to be for sale in a gift shop so that you can kind of get that DTC out the door, you can do so. It's doing more of those things to help with promotion and help with general marketing, which is, Michael, your background. How else can you better market this to get the story out, to get an impression in place
Right.
through different channels? I mean, even this morning in Mark Brown's newsletter, he was talking about the big RNDC news
Right.
getting pulled, and how it makes an impact even on people's menus and cocktails. Like, lack of follow through distribution has a bad ripple effect. So how can we help streamline some of those services to be able to provide more consistent services, well priced, for brands of all sizes to continue to grow?
Yeah, that's an important point, because I think it's just it's crazy how the distribution weaknesses have really hampered people from discovering what could be great brands.
Right.
There are great brands, but
there are great brands.
Stories. But they're not, they're not a legacy brand that just sells itself.
Right. Yep. And then I think, again, it's a changing world. We're sitting down here watching University of Miami beat Ole Miss yesterday, and they're talking about how the NIL quarterback's making $4 million a year. How do you take and capitalize? I think Maker's Mark just came out with a new collaboration today with the women of one of the sports leagues. Like, how do you take what is going on in mainstream and better associate within those realms so that you can be a part of the influencers of today's world? I mean, I'm a pretty private person, but their influencers make or break brands.
Absolutely.
And everybody wants to share their story online anymore. So embracing more of that is, I think, what's going to help us get through this next year.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to become part of the new norm in getting younger generations and or brands to build out a different audience or keep.
Well, it's essential. I mean, that's in essence, it's the brand ambassador that has the potential to make or break that effort. And and it's as much a social presence as it is a physical presence.
Right.
Building a network. I mean, Tanya's been doing this for a number of years now. That's how we first met. She actually reached out when we were launching Joe Louis Bourbon pre-COVID.
Wow.
It was launched in COVID, but pre-COVID, and reached out and said, "Hey, I'm interested in helping." And she was really great. We did podcasts that she hosted. We did a lot of things that were important in just kind of creating awareness, because that brand, which unfortunately it did not succeed for reasons that are unrelated to the effort. We launched that brand as a total digital because we had no choice. It was supposed to launch in a very physical way with sponsorship of events around the country. And it was going to be introduced at WSWA with the Team USA Olympian boxers doing an exhibition. And none of that happened. So instead, we were, doing our kickoff call with Southern on Zoom, which is the first time they had ever done that. And we started doing that. We talk about the Black Bourbon Society. The very first Zoom that Black Bourbon Society did was with us, introducing, Joe Louis Bourbon. And, Samara was like, "How do we do this?" And then she ended up doing them forever. And anyway, but point is that this is not new. It's just it's about executing properly.
Well said.
And also, I also remember one other conversation, which, I remember when we were launching Joe Louis, I forgot his name. He was the the point person for Southern in Michigan, and they were saying how incredible the response is, where everyone is talking about this brand, and all we were doing was, Instagram and Facebook, and YouTube, copies of podcasts, and a little bit of advertising, but all digital. And he said, you should be on TikTok. Now, at that point, TikTok, I said, they're all 15-year-olds right now. I don't know. I think maybe at some point, but right now our priority is not TikTok because that's what it was. It was all kids. And then it
Wow.
became the supernova of, social. Now it's the only thing that matters. And Facebook is irrelevant somewhat.
I know.
So I wanted to, okay, well, Ernesto, joining us from sunny, is it sunny, California?
It's supposed to be, but I've got a big jacket on today. It's it's freezing. It's 58 or something.
15 degrees in Southern California.
Wow, that's like real winter almost.
Yeah, we're getting a real winter. Yeah, and then we're getting a little bit more rain than we usually do. I could see snow on the mountains from here from my office.
Mm.
It's
got a four-season view.
Yes, it's kind of cold.
It's 58 degrees.
58 right now.
That would be warm for you.
It is. It's 57 degrees here in New York, and it's like I got a t-shirt on.
Oh, there you go. Well, I got a t-shirt on too. Today's casual Friday.
It's 66
I
here.
wore a t-shirt, but I got a jacket on.
Look at that.
It's 81 in South Florida. Y'all are cold.
Oh, please.
Yeah, we're cold. Absolutely.
Can I get
And
up?
what's the temperature in?
I'll leave the room for a minute, and you come back here. Or some people are putting their clothes back on. What's happening there?
Yes, exactly.
We're talking weather. We're talking weather.
It looks like it's frozen behind you.
It's pretty well. It's chilly here. It's been chilly all week, but not crazy. So it's been kind of low figures in Celsius. So and it was kind of freezing earlier in the week, but not crazy.
Yeah. No, we don't get freezing here, but it's cold.
Yeah. So all right. So Ernesto, what's the latest in the tequila wars?
In the tequila world, the latest is that big numbers say that tequila is booming. I honestly don't see it with the 12 brands that we carry. It's a strange market right now here, and I feel it here in California, because you see official numbers. Official numbers are record purchases for this, record purchases for that, and then I go into my retailers and how we doing, and everybody's like, oh, it's slow. We didn't see an O&D really. It was just completely flat. It was just another day, another week. Another regular sale. One of our brands, are my son's brand, the Xolo Escuincle, put out a limited edition bottling, 500 bottles, not a lot, and at a premium price, and those flew in a week. And then I got product that I've got, deals on for, $25 a bottle. And people don't want it. Like, oh no, next time. So it's really strange. It's strange that there is movement, but at the same time there's not. So it's like we don't really know where stuff is landing.
It's interesting though that the premium product moved fast.
Yes.
Oh,
well, it's the opposite here.
That's why. Because that's pretty cool.
Let me say that. Oh, I'm coming to get one. I'll see you on the 28th.
This one's open. There's no more. This is so we did. It's a single barrel, so it's a barrel of American Oak XA. This one is 47.45 ABV. And then we did a black one. It's
Oh, it's cute.
That's great.
right, French oak, path
Mhm.
strength, 4-year-old. This is 54.7 ABV. So only 250 bottles or 700 mLs. And we posted it, coming soon, coming soon. We had 2 retailers do pre-sales, and the 500 bottles got here and they sold in a week. They're gone.
Oh, what was the price point?
$400 retail.
Wow,
How much?
400.
$400. Wow, that's
Yeah.
a success.
Yes, though. That's what's up.
I was going to ask how much did the bottle cost, but now it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that bottle is hand painted. They take 3 hours to paint each bottle. Bottles costing us about $35.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. And right now on social media, people are they already received their dogs. So all the tequila influencers all over the place: New York, New Jersey Agave Club, Texas Agave Club, Austin Agave Club, Florida Agave. All these guys, tequila clubs, they're doing their posts and they're making them animated and stuff like that. So that's really cool.
Hey, that's great. That
is.
Yeah, that's
It
the dream
is.
come
The
true.
thing is that it's only $500. I mean, 500 bottles, and they're gone, right? So it's like, okay, cool, But what about the bread and butter, the daily? The daily is the one that's like, it's like, okay, it's a little bit on the slow side. So I was actually telling my son, I said, well, why don't let's do more of those?
Yeah,
Because these are both XAs, single barrel XAs, one American oak, one French oak. We could, a black bottle and a blue bottle. We could do, okay, let's do a red bottle, an orange bottle, a yellow bottle, and let's put some Blanco, Reposado, whatever. Obviously, drop that price a little bit, and maybe that's the thing. I have no idea. It's really strange, after, because we have other stuff in ceramic. We've got Juan Mexicano ceramic. We've got about 4 or 5 brands of ceramic, and then we got the glass ones. And it's strange to the market as far as what people want right now.
well, I think it's
We've always been a premium house. We usually, I mean, I don't never done any tequilas that are mixtos, anything like that. Our mezcals are kind of dead in the water right now. Mezcals are it's a little strange. Mezcals are just regular.
I thought a couple years ago, mezcals were all the rage. Everyone was
Exactly.
tripping
Yeah.
all over themselves to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've
Well, I think you need to put mezcal into a dog shaped something.
Yeah. Well, funny thing is, I don't know if this would be of interest to you guys at all, but the brand Xolo Escuincle, it is the breed of the Mexican hairless dog. So it's the breed of the dog. So that's what I'll show you, just the label. So the Xolo, where am I at? The Xolo Escuincle is the full brand name.
Yeah.
Right. But there's a soccer team in Tijuana, here in Tijuana, that are the Xolos of Tijuana. So we have USPTO brand on that for Xolo Escuincle, and Xolo. There's 3 brands in that same cover the name. But in Mexico, it's their version of USPTO is called IMPI, IMPI. And we cannot get brand registration for this in Mexico because of the soccer team. They stopped us. So they stopped us for us. So we cannot sell this in Mexico, but we can produce it in tequila. For the Comercam, which is the regulatory council for mezcal, you have to have the brand registered with IMPI to do your co-share contract with a distillery or a palenque to make mezcal. So the idea was to make mezcal in this brand, but we can't because we don't have the IMPI registration. That's just the rule
Red tape.
The regulatory council. Yeah.
They even have red tape in Mexico. I thought they had no rules there.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we bring boutique stuff. We just brought a Mexican whiskey, another Mexican whiskey from Oaxaca. They call it Calanca. Had to go through formulation. Took us a year, but we finally got it up here. The Calanca. It's a plant, an herb. We Google it and did all this stuff to get it to TTP for label for formulation, and here they call it the dream plant or the dream herb.
The dream herb.
Yeah, yeah, and
It sounds like it should be in the dispensary.
exactly. So the thing was, I was going back and forth with TTB that they were saying that it was kind of like the coca leaf because it's medicinal and it gives it does all this stuff and this product is infused with that. So we went jumped through a bunch of hoops to be able to get it to finally be approved, and we just brought that in. It was brought it in late December, so that's something that's new, something different.
So what is the flavor profile of that?
It's very interesting. I was in Glendale, here Glendale, SoCal, obviously, and that's a big Armenian community. I was out there yesterday, and I was pouring that for one of my retailers, and he's like, you know what, this tastes like an Armenian vodka that's like an elderflower or something like that, like peach. And he brought it out, and it's like very earthy, black stone fruit. It's really very very unique as far as taste profile goes, and people know us or my company, I Get It Together, of course, as the boutique stuff. Anything new, weird, funky comes out, and I get the call, hey, is this you?
Yeah.
And most of the time it is. Yeah, I'm that one that brings in and only 5, 6, 700 bottles a year, and that's it. There's no more, and people go, they trip over themselves to get some cool stuff. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of Dreamer, by the way.
Dream herb. It's called. Yeah, it's a dream. That's what they call it here. The dream herb. I don't know. Kind of weird. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, that's a great update, and I think we can't wait to see the next dog releases.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys can't miss out on these.
It is pretty cool. All right.
And we've got actually for Mr. Clancy, we've got an order for these for Europe. We posted it, and we got an importer in England that says, okay, I want some.
Where did you say they are?
They're not there yet because we only made 500. So we got a
more.
We got a fish on the hook over in the European Union of somebody that wants a batch of those dogs.
Okay, interesting. They're not in Ireland, are they?
Hopefully they'll be out there soon. I don't know. We have to make them. They can only make 40 bottles a week.
Right. Oh wow.
Of the bottles themselves, and then it's 3 hours to paint each bottle, and then they go back in the oven. So it's double baked. Wow. Yeah, so it'll be a while. Hopefully by maybe the end of the year. OND this year. Be out on the other side of the pond.
That's what you want to put on the mezcal label, double baked. Right.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly.
Right. Not the mezcal, the whiskey.
The whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah. Double baked.
I love it.
Michael Clancy, what's new in your world? And do people still wonder what the hell's going on here in the US?
Yeah, firstly, Happy New Year, Hall. I don't think I said it already. So yeah, hopefully
Happy New Year.
Hopefully this will be a more positive year in lots of regards than last year was. I think lots of us struggled through last year in various ways. So hopefully there'll be a bit of a turn upwards in this year. Yeah, what's happening here? Well, to your question, Michael, yeah, we are in continuous amazement. That's all I'm going to say.
So are we. Can it get any stupider?
Yeah, some of you might be moving a bit closer to us, halfway across the Atlantic or something sometime soon. But yeah, look, it's it's interesting to watch, but yeah, obviously it doesn't. Global uncertainty doesn't help any of us in business. Just to, and that's probably all I'm going to say on politics. So it doesn't, and I think we're all of us here, free markets and more global trade works good for all of us, and less uncertainty works good for all of us as well. So that's where I'd like things to be. Yeah, just I suppose interesting, I suppose, end of the year. Uh, we have a very busy bar here in Dublin that we do a lot of product for. There's a chain of about six busy bars in Dublin City, and two of them we do their own house gins for. One of those was going through about what was it? They were going through about 15 cases of gin a night in November and December.
Wow.
Phenomenal, like just absolutely. So
Wow.
we delivered what we thought was their last order into them a couple of weeks before Christmas, and we had to rush through another order to get it in just before Christmas so that they wouldn't run out between then and New Year's. So, there's
So have you gone there to find out what the secret is to that
it's just
level of
it's
term?
just it's their house pour. So that's somebody asked for a gin and tonic. It's their house pour. Now they're very much city centre Dublin location. There's a lot of Christmas parties and stuff like that. A lot of stuff
Right.
where, somebody's credit card is behind the bar, and people get up to go to the toilet or they get up to go out for a smoke, and they leave behind their gin and tonic. They come back, they can't figure out where they left it, or can't
They're
be
gonna get
bothered
another
to
one.
figure out, and they just get another one. So maybe there's partly some of that to it, but these guys are just flying through it. So and talking to them since Christmas, there's some big conference coming up in at the end of January in Dublin. City Centre is all booked out with aviation leasing people, very, very wealthy people. So they're going to be busy right up. They're going to be busy at, end of January. There's some other big conference in city centre in between now and then as well. So, which is great. It's just those guys keep busy. That's great. We have another big hotel group in Killarney, which is, if any of you have visited Ireland, Killarney is a big tourism area down in the southwest. It's a big tourism town, and we're supplying them with product in eco spirits, so the refillable
Mhm.
totes. And so we would have started with them probably early in the summer with this, and we've just sent out their sixth order to them. So, and that's a pallet going out each time and a pallet coming back of empties. So, that's nicely embedding there, and working really well. They're very happy with it. And, I suppose our goal for this year is to have six or 10 more hotel groups like that, that are using that system. And basically that's really good repeatable business. So yeah, on the international front, we've lots of stuff in the pipeline, lots of stuff in the pipeline in Asia. My brother was out there for 3 weeks in November. We have a very interesting inquiry in the US that literally just came in since the start of January. Might be nothing in it, but it could be something very interesting in 3 different states. So look, it's onwards and upwards. That's just keep at it, keep tearing away. And I suppose the last thing I'll say is the great John Teeling, if anyone knows anything about Irish whiskey, turned 80 yesterday, and he's still going, he's still at it. So he's my inspiration. So there we go.
He's still drinking?
He doesn't drink at all, never touched a drop.
Okay.
But as he said famously, he says, I once owned a ladies' underwear factory, but you won't catch me in women's knickers either. So
That's great. So let me ask you, because you're in a couple states. You're in Ohio and but
Tennessee.
what's the latest on tariffs for you? And what do you have?
So we haven't shipped anything to the US last year at all, right? So basically again just down to all the uncertainty and how long it took to bottom out what was going to happen in relation to tariffs. So our importer was just kind of getting their head around that. So we didn't ship anything to the US last year.
Hmm.
So no, we'll expect we'll be doing that. We'll be shipping stuff in quarter 1 of this year, but it won't be a massive order. Now we're in Tennessee, and there's still some stock out there, not very much. We are in Ohio, but that was liquor board. We won't make the reordering with that, but we're not surprised, and we were taken in as part of a big group.
Yeah.
They took on board a huge group of Irish companies, and they took on board too many and spread the net too thinly, and basically it didn't work out. I think
Mhm.
from their point of view, they bought too much stock at the same time, and
Too many Irish SKUs
too
at
many
once.
too many Irish SKUs that they didn't say no to anyone, I think. And so there was a lot of stuff at similar price points, and just not, it all got great focus for March, was it 2020, March 2024, was it? Yeah, March 2024. It all got a lot of focus, but then basically after that, the focus shifted, and so anyway, look, we would have had opportunities to go out and help to sell out the stuff, but we knew we weren't going to make the reorder point, so why would you bother
Right.
go out supporting them to sell out the stuff? So anyway, look, I suppose that's a lesson learned in relation to control states. And
Well, it's easy.
uh,
They're quick to delist.
yeah. So there's criteria for listing, and it all sounds great. And but then basically, the
Their expectations are high.
yeah. So look, we got paid for what we sent out there. Now we spent a fair bit of money going out supporting it in the first case, but look, lesson learned to an extent. We probably will be going into Minnesota this year as well. I think and again, our importer, while he's based in Tennessee, he's actually from Minnesota, so he's good contacts up there. So we've no major plans to take over the US this year or anything. I think our focus is probably better spent further east.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Well, Vanessa, we need an update from you in terms of your new space.
Who's Briley? Burley? Briley? B.
Riley.
Riley. Hey, how are you?
You didn't. Oh, you came in after he did his intro.
Oh,
Yes, Briley is a colleague or an associate of Brian Montaloni,
yeah.
and he's joining us. He's been. I'll give a quick summary, and then you can pick up from there. But he's got a lot of experience in wine sales, and he's currently still passionate about wine, but also open to spirits, and he's exploring the next
Oh,
step.
nice.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I've been a
Okay.
supplier for about 16 some years or whatever. Been doing this for
Okay.
about 30 years through the restaurants, distributor, and supplier side of business.
So you've seen everything like the rest of us.
I have, and I was in restaurants for many years before that. I live in South Florida. I'm originally born and raised in Central Iowa, so I've seen a couple different kind of markets through the 90s, and then obviously the last 25 years, the way things have been going. So
Yeah, I'll be in Florida too. I know I see you guys are just, it looks so sunny and you guys look relaxed.
I'm going to
It,
be
it's
there next week, I think. Yeah, in Florida.
You're going to be there? Oh, okay. So I'll come to Georgia.
Well,
I'll be
I'm here
there and then
now.
I'm going
So
to
you,
drive to Gainesville,
Gainesville, Florida?
Florida. Hmm.
Okay, because there's a Gainesville, Georgia too, and it's right
Yeah,
near
yeah,
Chateau
yeah.
Milan. Okay.
Oh,
northeast
yeah.
of Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely. And then I'll go
I
down. I'm
like
going to go to South Florida, see my
yeah,
brother in Broward
that's right.
County.
I live in West Palm Beach.
Oh, good. All right, cool. I might come and see you.
Well, I'm going to be on the
Tampa
Over
Gulf
here,
side.
side?
Yeah.
West Coast.
Okay. Well,
Reston.
a lot is going, yeah, I am going to the West Coast. A lot is going on. Of course, I officially started my vacation, my month. I take my
Yes.
2 month
Yes.
vacation in January, February.
Yes.
So I officially started it yesterday. I was supposed to leave yesterday, but our dog had a stroke. So
Oh,
we took him to the vet. He doesn't want to eat right now. We're waiting for his wheelchair to come. So
a doggy
that's,
wheelchair.
yeah.
You
So
mean like a stroller or an actual?
a little wheelchair because his back legs, he's not walking. So I've been tending to that all night, but my husband's getting ready to have him fitted for his wheelchair. You know, he's kind of old now, so I guess it's getting to that stage. He's
What
on
kind of dog?
meds.
What breed?
French bulldog,
Oh,
but he's only 8. But they have a lot of spinal. This is the first time we're dealing with that. He has a spinal issue. So we'll see. He's on meds right now and steroids. And so we'll see. But in all good spirits, he's a good dog.
yes.
So hence the point of spirits. But New York has been pretty much the same in terms of, I was hearing a lot of my off premise was saying it was slow in terms of, people coming through, except for Total Wines. Didn't seem like things were slow with Total Wines, and what Total Wines was doing, they were buying volume orders. That way I could give them a good volume price, and then they were giving their customers a lower price. So a lot of
Mm.
people were going to, instead of going to the independents, they were going to Total Wines because they can do that. So it was very specific. But then the on premise, I don't know what the heck was going on. But as you were talking about it, the house brands, because I make the Black and Wells,
Mhm.
so which is I make it as a house brand for
Mhm.
for the on premise, and I couldn't keep cases on the shelves because it's a
Mm.
low price. So I
Mhm.
can see, we were selling like 10 cases per on premise, like just push. I have nothing like right now,
Mm. Oh,
so that was, I mean, I had somebody call me yesterday and say, before you leave, do you have 3 cases? I say, you can go pick it up tonight because after that, I'm done. So I saw the shift. It's, the shift, which was different from last year. Last year we were pushing, we were doing well, of course, with off premise, and it was less with on premise. And this time it just reversed. And I think also just as Carrie, I think that's what your name is, Carrie. So
right.
we also started doing the 50 mils as well, on contract manufacturing. So I just did a few for a couple of my clients on their special brand. And I'm getting called for a lot of those. I'm kind of glad I got the new equipment for that to offer that to my clientele on the contract manufacturing. But otherwise than that, you know, I'm seeing the same thing that everybody else is seeing. I mean, we did pretty well. I pretty much did well. I was just busy. Now I'm just wanting to get this other place open. Um, because I had the issue with the spring with the tent.
Mhm. Blue light.
So right, so I had the issue with the tent. So now I'm not gonna open up in the middle of winter. I'm taking my vacation. So we're probably going to open in May because, I submitted the drawings for that, and now my husband's designing a sprinkler system. I said, if we got to wait, I might as well put in my sprinkler system. So that's what I'm doing, putting in the sprinkler system and upgrading to 400 amps. But probably in May, but to open to the public because I'm still using the facility. Both of them. And then now I'm coming down there. I'm looking at a piece of property in Georgia.
In Georgia, near Chateau Alon.
No, not commercial property. Chateau Alon is too far.
Yes, it is.
But it's close to South Carolina. I mean, it's close to the 85.
Well, it's close to the highway. Yeah.
Yeah.
In between. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking down there. I'm gonna see because I want to set up a bottling facility, down there, and have my daughter's there, and just have another location off the 75 when I'm going to Florida. So that way it's it's close enough. So we'll see. The real estate market is it's cheap in some areas and then it's very expensive in some areas. I don't know what the heck is going on in Georgia.
I think if you're
Huh?
Yeah. I mean, if you're close to Atlanta, it's going to be expensive. But if you're
What? Yeah.
But if you're
It's
willing
like
to go
New York
further,
prices.
yeah. But if you head south, maybe 20 miles on 75, you're in between Macon and Atlanta, I think.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but otherwise than that, I'm healthy. That's all that matters. I'm healthy. I'm not in the red. I'm very much in the black. That's all I care. Kids are
I
good.
thought you were always in the black.
I'm black mama. I'm always in the
You're
black.
always in the black.
Yeah.
All
So
right. Well, so I get, what time is it? Okay. I guess, anyone have anything they want to throw out for discussion? No? Otherwise, I think we'll say, Happy New Year. Now the year is ahead of us. So let's see how this story unfolds. I think I'm finding it, I found December to be extremely busier than I expected on the wholesale side. And a lot of that was, discount priced opportunities that we sold a lot of. But it was helpful to know that people are still stocking up on their inventory for future needs or current needs. I have one great story, which I don't even know how they're doing this. Small Wisconsin distiller, brewer and distiller. They bought 4 barrels of 7-year-old bourbon in October. For some special release that they were doing. They went through it in a weekend, they claim. They then said, can we get 4 more? I'm like, okay. Then they said, we need 12. This is like every week. And I'm like, what are you doing with this? I'm like, I don't know. It's surprising us too. We did this special release and we can't make enough of it. So literally last week, the day before on New Year's Eve, they call, I need 12 more barrels as soon as possible because we're running out again. And I'm like, okay, buy a truckload. Okay. But it's great because they're excited. They're like, oh my God, we ran out. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if it's in a dog bottle, or or what, but who knows?
Maybe we should put some whiskey in a dog bottle. Why not?
Yeah, it's a cheese head.
Cheese head?
Carrie's, what, you trying to say something, but
I have a California client that does dog bottles like you do with bourbon, and they call it they call it on social media Puppy Van Winkle, but it's Araceli brand. And but they also do their little puppies through a charity program. So they do these special releases. They're getting the bottles. They're not hand painted. They're Mexican bottles.
Right.
They are cute as a button. So I think, all of that, sometimes you say, oh, what should I do that's different? Or what should I do that is just that crazy idea that I've never done before? Now's the time to do it so that you can continue to
Who
make
distributes that?
impressions.
Who distributes that out here?
Araceli is the brand.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Michael too.
Michael. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
I
they got
help supply
got
him for those and do the bottling on it.
they got the bulldogs and stuff like
The
that.
bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know
I
that.
took a screenshot of yours earlier too, because
they should be
they're
selling the bulldogs
stunningly
here in
beautiful.
Georgia,
Yeah.
I gotta
true
run.
dogs.
right?
I gotta run
Bonkers
here,
over there.
guys. So
Yeah.
nice seeing you all, and have
All
a
right.
very
Likewise,
happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Till next month.
Cheers,
Yep.
guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Sláinte.
Cheers all.
Great meeting you all.
Take care.
Riley,
I'm gonna call
back
you,
again.
Mike. Okay.
Reach out to me if you're gonna.
I'm calling you as soon as we hang up.
Okay.